I guess I'm going to call this one Real Talk. We'll get out of the introduction to spirituality, I guess, and get down to some nuts and bolts. In the beginning, oh man. Okay, let me start this. There's a lot of things that I've just kind of known, carried with me my whole life that don't make much sense. I guess that there's a veil that we must pass through to get into these incarnations. That is called the veil of forgetting, where you can't remember your past lives. Well, you don't remember your soul's purpose. You have to pass through the veil of forgetting, and somehow it seems as though I and many others in this day and age, in this time that we're in, there's a shift coming, and people like myself are starting to wake up to these knowings that we've had, and it's going well deeper than that. I had a Kundalini awakening a couple nights ago, and the information has just been pouring in, and I'm a messenger. I'm here to share it. This is all going to sound absurd. It's all going to sound very crazy to you. So, I guess that being said, in the beginning, nothingness became aware of itself and became very curious. Awareness is all that exists. Consciousness. God consciousness is all that exists. Everything else is an illusion painted by that one consciousness. We are all branches off of that one consciousness. A coon? What is that? Yeah, that's a coon. Yep, ringtail. You treat a coon, baby girl. Look at you. You little huntress. He's up there. If you can't climb, you're not going to get him. Come on, let's go. Our first coon. Anyways, so ultimately, what does exist, there's listen. This is going to get into some quantum stuff here. That's it's really the only way to explain a lot of this. There are energies, and there's only two kinds of energy. There's positive and there's negative. Positively polarized and negatively polarized energies. And branches of consciousness can be negatively or positively polarized. That's why some people are just shitbags, and some people are like angels. I've already gone into there is no heaven and no hell. There are no fallen angels. Jesus does not sit to the right hand of God. God just is consciousness. If you're consciousness, you got a piece of God in you, and vice versa. He's got a piece of you in him. You are him. You are a projection of his consciousness. Now, when we want to get deep into this, and like I mentioned, the quantum realms, look into, this is scientific, this is biblical. Everything that I'm saying aligns with the Bible, with Jesus' teachings in the Bible. Everything I'm saying lines up with science as well. You got both the sides that you need. You got your not religious but spiritual side, and then you have your scientific side, and they all align to this. Because we're beginning to understand quantum energies, particles. If you look at the double slit experiment, and this people are just hearing it, but this experiment took place a long time ago. But they are aware that consciousness controls light particles. We are our own projectors. We are projecting our own lives based upon our belief systems. Since birth, at birth, picture it, you had no knowledge. You passed through the veil of forgetting. You are a clean slate. Pure love, pure oneness, pure love. And every second of your life, beyond that, you have been programmed to believe that you are separate. And you do believe that you are separate. You no longer experience the oneness that you can't remember ever having experienced. You have learned to develop emotions. Let's say you live in relationship to everything that you see, hear, experience, touch, you live in relationship to that. Relationship in that everything you've witnessed, seen, experienced, felt, heard, etc. has warranted some form of emotion, no matter how large or small. That's how we label things, by tying an emotion to it. I know it may seem a little odd or be hard to view it that way, but these emotions are what control what we're manifesting. You are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. You have manifested exactly where you are right now by believing that that's where you should be, where you would be. But you can change that. Hey, you can change it at any given time. Like I said, it's biblical. Jesus said, don't quote me on exactly what he said, and I know the Christians will want to go to the faith of a mustard seed statement. And hey, I like that statement too. But there was somewhere he said something along the lines, if you can see it in your hand, it's yours. What that means is that you have to become the future version of yourself. The version of yourself that you will believe who you believe you would be when your desires have been met. You have to become that person before the desires are met, for the desires to be manifested. Science does not argue this. Jesus certainly doesn't argue this. I'm going to pause for a moment.